Hey y'all, it's T. Wiley Law, and we have to discuss Reasonable Doubt on Hulu. If you have not seen season one, please go check it out. If you have not seen episode one of season two, go check that out and come back so we can discuss this new season. So, the first episode is called Can I Live? I absolutely love this show because great acting, great storylines, beautiful people in the show because I can relate to another black female attorney and because I am a fan of Jay-Z and hip hop, and the soundtrack to this show is absolutely fire. Of course, it's named after one of Jay-Z's best albums, and all the episodes are named after his songs. So the question is, would you be able to represent your friend if they was on trial for murder? So Jax, right here slaying in this pink suit, is the main character, and she's a criminal defense attorney. She is a partner at her firm. It opens with Chanel, who is one of her best friends. Her face is bruised. Her trifling husband, JT, is crawling across the floor. The house is all tore up, and he's begging her to call 911. You see a trophy of some sort drop to the floor, and he is just bleeding out. She calls Jax, tells her that JT is dead. So this season does start out with Jax being in therapy. She's recovering from one of her ex-clients, ex-boos, ex-little flea thing, Michael Ealy. Don't remember his character on the show, but Michael Ealy is always going to play somebody crazy. He kidnapped her, threatened to kill her, and then he unalived himself in front of her. So she's in therapy for this so she can be cleared to go back to work. When Jax arrives at the crime scene, she is getting flashbacks. Seeing JT on the floor bleeding from the head is similar to the same scene she saw from Michael Ealy from the previous season. So you can tell that sister is really going through it. You can just tell from her demeanor. She's having panic attacks, that she is not the same Jax, the badass attorney that we know from season one. Her and her husband Lewis are separated. They have finally agreed to go to some couple therapy. I don't know how well that's going to work for them because you could tell it's a really dysfunctional relationship, especially since neither one of them have really discussed all the actual sexual encounters they had while they were separated. Jax has been cleared by her therapist with the recommendation of some medication to return to work. So, this case with her friend is literally her first case back. Even though she is saying she's not going to represent her friend, she's just going to help on the investigation because we're all assuming that it's going to be quick and easy, an issue of just self-defense. That he attacked her, she fought for his life, she unalived him, and it should be really open and shut. So that is her understanding in this brief return to work. There is a scene with her and all of her partners in the boardroom. She is the only black person in that room. And from this scene and from last season, she deals with a lot of microaggressions. You can tell that she be struggling to be professional in these environments. And I know that is something that a lot of us can relate to. So, what happens is what we thought was going to be a clean and easy case of self-defense, some red flags start popping up. There is like 2.5 hours between the time that he passed and she calls 911. It's also evidence that she moved the body. These things are not looking good. So we get a press conference, and this is when I say that the soundtrack is fire because it's Tupac, Ambitions of a Rider, as the DA walks out and announces that they have charged her with first-degree murder. This catches everyone off guard because Jack just assumed that her friend in the DA's office was going to be on the case, so a little easier for her to manipulate, get information out of. But there is a new person in the office that is taking over for this case, so there's a lot of politics involved. So, not self-defense, first-degree murder. So Jax finally decides that she's having, because of her panic attacks, you could just tell that she is not in a place to be back at work, especially not for a high-profile first-degree murder case for her friend for unaliving her pro football player husband. So she decides to call a friend. She knows that she can't really trust anybody at her firm. She really don't even like that man. And enters Morris Chestnut. And this is Morris Chestnut if Ricky would have zigzagged. This is Morris Chestnut just chest out. Like if Mia just would have left him in college and he was just out in the world, really living his life. He is a nice addition to the cast. They gonna keep some fine men on this show. So this is my first time reviewing a show on this channel, so let me know how you like it. It's definitely a little bit longer than what I wanted it to be, so we're going to work on that for episode 2 because it is already out. So just head over to Hulu, check out this show. It is really good. Until next time.